In a world where two friends on an interdimensional time-traveling couch bring you the best in all that is gaming. The Selected Lamb. Captain Kron. Gameskooled. It's time to get schooled.
We're gonna talk about what's the game? What's it called? Overwatch.
Welcome to Gameskooled, everybody!
Hello!
So today, we are going to talk a little bit about a beta we played recently called Watch Over?
The Blizzard's Watch.
I don't know, something.
The Watch?
You ever had that manager when you're at work that's just like over your shoulder, like watching what you do the whole time? It's gonna be a lot like that.
A lot like an Overwatch.
Like an Overwatcher. Overwatch!
Overwatch! Is that it?
That's what we played this weekend,
I don't think
guys.
that's it.
I'm pretty sure it's Overwatch.
Okay, so it is Overwatch.
Okay.
Blizzard made this game, and
Awesome.
I had a man love crush on Blizzard for a long time. Played a lot of Diablo 2, and really enjoyed it. And then they wrecked my entire world with Diablo 3.
See, it's kind of funny. It's a little different story with me. It's like I used to be a huge Blizzard fan when World of Warcraft was a strategy game.
You mean just Warcraft?
Warcraft.
Right.
Sorry, yeah, when it was Warcraft. Like Warcraft 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Awesome games.
I played those too.
I loved them. Once they turned it into that big old MMO thing, I really dropped out. So, thumbs up, guys. You really surprised me with this game.
This game's amazing.
Yeah.
I had no idea it was going to be this good.
I'd seen a few things about it before we wanted to get in the beta for it, and it was one of those things I was like, this looks like a MOBA. And I played a little bit of Smite and a little bit of a couple other MOBAs, and they just couldn't grasp my attention. It's just something about them. People are too squishy, it's too spammy. I don't know how to explain it. Besides the fact that it just doesn't strike my interest. Most MOBAs aren't my kind of gaming forte.
They are a game that I could get into if I really dedicated myself. I could get into a MOBA. I think they're entertaining games. The only problem I see with it is that you need years of exposure to each character, or not to each character, but to all the characters, so that you can understand when you're being approached by a certain character, you have an idea of what its capabilities are, and so that you're aware of what it's doing at the time that it's doing it. And I wasn't willing to invest that time into the Dota or League of Legends.
And it's one of those things is like I always try to look for games that got a lot of depth over graphics and story. Like if a game's got a real deep amount of gameplay or like mechanics to it, stuff like that. There's things I always really love about certain video games. I have to say I'm a graphics whore. I love anything that's really pretty. But honestly, it could be the most pixelated game in the world if it's got a good story and some awesome gaming mechanics.
Yeah.
You're going to be playing it. So I was really surprised because most MOBAs tend to be very generic. You get your skills, you spam your skills. If you're higher level than somebody else, you do it. You gotta, like you said, you gotta spend all this time discovering your character as well as other people's characters to find out how to be effective. So when I downloaded the beta for Overwatch, I was expecting a MOBA like Smite. And boy was I surprised, guys. It was nothing like Smite. It is like a mix between, I don't know, like a hero shooter, like Evolve or something like that, mixed in with like Destiny or Call of Duty, like first-person shooter. And the first-person shooter, like action aspect of it, really was able to draw me into it.
Now, I would say that it was more like a Team Fortress meets Destiny.
Oh man, I love Team Fortress. And
right.
You're right. It's so Team Fortress and meets Destiny because it's kind of like a newer console, newer gen game. It's not necessarily like a clone or a remake because it's so different.
I know Team Fortress 2 came out not too long ago, maybe last year or the year before that. And I didn't give it the time of day. I was involved in Destiny and I was doing other things. So I don't know. Maybe you can tell me in the comments below if you think Team Fortress 2 or Overwatch is better. I can't decide.
I can't say anything as far as that goes because I played a lot of Team Fortress, like the first one, because that was like Half-Life Counter-Strike, the whole spiel where you got to play like the same game from different people's point of views, which was really cool. And then Team Fortress kind of came after that.
Right.
And it was really cool. When it came out, multiplayer on PC was still pretty difficult. So I didn't get like the full experience with the setup I had at my house, which would have been nice. But I loved that game. I don't remember. I never played even a minute of Team Fortress 2. Did that come out on consoles at all, or was that just?
Yeah,
PC?
that was Xbox. It was. I think Team Fortress 2 was part of the Orange Box on Xbox.
I've heard of the Orange Box.
Yeah, it came with Portal,
I love the Portal
Team
games.
Fortress 2, and Half-Life. I think that was the whole thing. I think I got it laying around here somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Orange Box was supposed to be the console version of all of these things, and it was supposed to promotionalize the original Xbox. So it might have been like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
Time flies, man.
Probably like 360, Xbox 360.
I don't think it was it 360.
Well, 360 had Portals 2. So did Orange Box come out with Portals 1 or Portals 2?
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll have to look into. If you guys know, let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Exactly.
But today we're talking about Overwatch. That was what we're talking about, and that game really caught me off guard.
Now this is just the beta.
Yeah,
though.
absolutely.
So little things are going to be tweaked. I understand, but several of the characters I played for a length of time. It's still the last day. Nope, it's not. Not the last day anymore. That's really sad. I was like, I want more of that game.
Literally for like, when you look at examples of how our channel's grown, and we started off with like the Division beta, and we were really excited about that, and then got kind of let down a little bit by the beta, and then this beta comes out, and it's one of those things that's like, I was like, oh, I'll get it because it's a beta. Yeah, it'll be good for the channel. Put some new stuff up on. And I wound up cracking out on that game for like 72 hours, like 2 full days, as much as I could possibly get. Anytime I had a chance to get on my PlayStation 4, I was playing Overwatch.
Right,
you know?
and I ended up playing a lot on PC, and I love the controls on the PC. Man, was it good? It was smooth. It was. I liked the mouse aim. It was just comfortable, and I haven't played a lot of. I hadn't played. In the past few years, a lot of computer games where first person, where I aim with the mouse and I'm keyboarding. So this really re-sparked that light of computer gaming, and I was really impressed.
Yeah. So just in general aspects of why I like the game, just to be really general, and we'll probably get a little more into detail about things farther into this video. But I love the art style. It's kind of got this kind of, it's not gritty or gory, but it's got this kind of fun, kind of almost anime comic book mix of art style to it. Everything's kind of cartoony,
Yeah,
but still really fun.
Borderlands style without the
Borderlands,
super like black edges.
Yeah. So I really liked that about it. I loved how everything was so smooth. It's kind of like the Doom beta we played. How, yes, you're just really smooth running through the level. It's
Right.
not like one of these newer kind of like COD games where it's you can see your guys running and like whatever.
Yeah.
And on top of that, what I really liked about it was how well balanced the game was.
Dude, totally.
I was expecting to be able to pick that game apart. I literally, like in the first hour of playing it, I kind of got hooked on it. And by my third hour, I was like, alright, the biggest problem this game is going to have is balancing everything out. Because everybody's going to have their favorite character, and then there's obviously going to be like this one character that everybody gets pissed if you pick, or blah, blah, blah. And it was so well balanced. I mean, there was so many characters that I didn't even want to play, that I wanted to play in a little bit just because it's the beta, and was like, I wound up falling in love with them.
Right.
You know, they're all so well, and like if you can put them together and use them for what they're meant to be used for, it can be an amazing experience.
Yeah. Well, with balancing, it was crazy because when I became a character, I was like, okay, I'm gonna learn this character. So I spent some hours on it, and then I was like, oh well, this guy's obviously overpowered. Talking about like another guy that keeps killing me, and I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna try and be that guy. So when I go and be that guy, say like Bastion, who is clearly the easiest overpowered character, you go and be Bastion, and then you figure out, oh well, this character and this character and this character, they can all take me out really quick. It's kind of interesting because then you think, oh, when you're this character, these characters are overpowered, and when you're this character, these other characters are overpowered just because you're that character.
Which is why I believe it was balanced so well, because every character kind of has their own counterpart.
Right.
You know, this person might be fast and agile, but this other person slows people down. You know what I mean? It was one of the reasons I played the game for probably like 6 hours, and I was Ganji the ninja. I was Soldier 96.
Okay.
Which is like the first character you go through the tutorial with and whatnot.
Yeah.
And who was the other person I tried out a couple of times? Oh, the grenade launcher chick, Farah. And I was like, alright, all these guys are person. I wound up liking Farah quite a bit.
Yeah, she flies, she throws
got
the rockets.
Launcher,
yeah,
she got
rockets.
And
because there was the other guy with the
grenade
launcher.
You're right. She's got a little missile launcher. And then just randomly, I picked me, who was this cute little girl, with her little snowsuit on, and I was like, all right, this is far from the coolest looking character, and probably not a character I would spend a lot of time playing. Just doesn't seem like my style. And man, did I fall in love. That Freeze guy, she's like Mr. Freeze's daughter. And I'll tell you what, it gets chilly when that girl's around. Throwing up that defensive wall that you can throw up.
Yeah, that's really strategic.
The fact that she's got like a freeze gun. It just shoots out it's like a fire hose almost. It just constantly streams out, and you gotta kind of like, it's got kind of a short range. But man, she is a tank destroyer. You got people who are like those heavy hitting, high HP people. You just come up to them, you start freezing them, you run a circle around them, they're frozen. You punch them, you run back away, you freeze them again, you come and punch them, they're gone. And she just wound up fitting really well into my play style. Like, I just realized I'm normally a really defensive character in these games. I like to be the guy that sets up turrets. I like to be the guy that's kind of in the background.
Yep.
And it was weird how she's got this kind of balance between the two of she's a defensive character, being able to throw up these defensive walls and such things, but also an offensive character. She doesn't deal a lot of damage. She's not great for taking out groups of people.
Right.
But man, you got a good team together and stuff like that, and she's like the most valuable person you can have. I have torn some stuff up with that chick, and I've probably played 90% of my gameplay as that. It was so funny. That was so great about balancing is like, even characters you look at that you're like, I'm not even gonna waste my time with them. You know, I don't even want to try that character. It just doesn't seem like my style. And then you spend 5 minutes playing that character, and you're like, holy crap, why haven't I used this person this whole time? You know, when the ice person's not a good person to pick, I should totally be this person.
Right. You know? And that's interesting too, because you know, you see your team as it's building itself. And it gives you little suggestions in the corner. Oh, you don't have a support. Oh, you don't have a tank. And so that gives you an opportunity to try a new character. So I tried some different characters. Bastion was one of my favorites. I started out with Roadhog, which is the tankiest character you can have. It has 600 health, and so no other character can compare to it. So after trying that out, I liked how he was shotgun. He was right off the bit, and he can bring stuff to you and to himself and shoot with a shotgun. And I was trying to decipher what a secondary does or how it explodes in the air, and that was just difficult. I couldn't look it up, and nobody had any information about it. But then I tried What else did I try? I tried the turret guy, the dwarf with the turret, and I also tried the healer Mercy.
And you were so good with the healer, man.
When I've got a good team,
yeah,
it makes
so
a
good.
huge difference. Because if I don't have a good team, they're just not doing any damage, and I feel like I'm not coming to my potential.
Well, and that's another thing is, in my personal opinion, I love co-op based games. I mean, I love myself a good solo game, you know what I mean? But any game that's got a lot of cooperation, like, based into the gameplay, I really love. I like to get together with my friends in game. I like to, have team-based things where it actually requires more than one person to build teamwork over being Rambo running around in a rat maze and killing people. And that was one of the cool things about this game was you pick certain people, and sometimes you see that your team's got, like, 4 snipers, and you're like, all right, we need a tank in here, somebody to, like, distract them all while the snipers get their shot on or something. So you wind up picking people you might not originally pick, and at no point did I ever, like, pick somebody and I was like, oh, this person's just horrible, I should never pick them again. It was normally, this person's not the right pick for the opponents I'm facing at that time, which made it really cool. It's like you said, you played with Warthog for a while, and you was like, this cool thing. I avoided playing with him for a long time just because I didn't like you. He was a big fat slob. Right. You know what I mean? So I was like, I'll play other people. He's probably super slow. Yeah, he's tanky. And the other day, I dominated in matches with him. I did that grappling hook where you pull him forward and then you hit him with a shotgun. They're just done.
Totally.
You know what I mean? You can take the damage and stuff, and it's really amazing how, like, it's all down to balancing, but how they've done it to where one character on your team can not necessarily, like, break the team, but can wind up being such an asset to the team that it's almost overlooked. Like, everybody wants to be kind of their favorite character, but if you actually build a good team, you're going to win the match.
That's why I had to choose a character in each category that I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to be strong at. I want to know each of these characters, but I'm going to pick one that I really can support, one I really can tank. The reason why I picked the tank, the Roadhog, is because I know that when I start a game, I like to have a lot of hit points. That way, I'm not just, boom, I'm out of the game, boom, I'm out of the game, and I'm constantly running towards the match.
Just trying to figure out the mechanics.
Right, just trying to figure out everything. So, that was the reason why I picked him first, and he ended up being a great character. And the healer, nobody really wants to be the healer. I mean, a support character's great, and it can win the game. I remember I was playing a couple matches, and everybody would be losing like 3/4 of their life, and it was like they would come back, they would retreat from the front line, zap 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 zap, and right around the corner they go again, and then I would boost them up, and they would, and it wasn't until like 5 hours playing with that character did I realize some people have a secondary weapon.
It's got a
and I
pistol,
was like,
I remember that, yeah.
I was like, all I can do is hit with this staff, but apparently she busts out the pistol and she mows. That pistol's no joke.
Which is like comes down to like the whole thing of like this cool balancing of even being like I didn't pick a lot of the healing or support characters because I was like, I don't want to be behind everybody healing the whole time. I want to be able to defend myself. I want to do this. And man, I wanted to play with that guy with the roller skates for a while. Okay. I can't remember what his name is. It's DJ or something like that. But he can like roller skate on the walls and stuff.
Oh really?
And he's got 2 things where it's like one heals anybody in like a general area around him. And then the other thing, if you switch the cassette tape that he's got in by hitting like the bumper button, he switches from healing to speeding everybody up. But then he's got another power that you only get like every so many seconds that you hit, and it amplifies that by a whole bunch. So if you're healing everybody and everybody is almost down, man, you use that skill. Now you're healing everybody who's near you like twice as fast as you were before, or like tripling their speed. And I found that guy to be a huge help, like helping the team out battle. Because you see you're losing the fight, everybody's getting, and everybody does. I called it trickling. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like everybody runs in the fight and kind of dies off at different times, and
One at a time.
Instead of everybody like grouping back up and going back in, two people are going together, and then one person, and then like another person, or like one person and then two. You know what I mean? It was never the full group of people, so you're always outnumbered and you're always dying. But man, you throw that guy and you get that boost of speed, now all of a sudden everybody's caught up at the same time, and you're dealing the damage you need to do. But also, he's got a really fast-firing, short-range weapon that does a decent amount of damage. So I was like, oh, I can be a healer and effective too. You gotta realize, since you're a healer, you're not a tank, you're not an aggressive person, you're not a big damage dealer. So you're not the person who needs to be going out in the front lines running past everybody to try and get the best kill streak. But in supporting your teams, you can also defend yourself at the same time, which was a really cool aspect in the game. But just moving on from balancing, because I think they did a good job, Blizzard.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Cool. Really cool.
Biggest problem I thought would have been in that game was balancing, and as far as I can tell now, you guys have done a pretty awesome job. I'm sure there'll be adjustments by the time the game comes out.
Sure, yeah, small adjustments.
As far as the beta went, you guys did awesome with that. We kind of did talk about graphics a little bit.
Yeah, well polished.
I have to say, gameplay is incredibly smooth and really easy to pick up on. There is a small learning curve to it because it doesn't really play like most first-person shooters.
Yeah, it took me a couple hours to get used to it, to get to use the idea that you had to escort something, you had to defend something, that there's start and beginning points, and those are the things that made me frustrated perhaps the first 2 hours of the game. But once you get those mechanics down, I feel like you're a lot more open to new ideas, new characters, and it's a growing game. You grow to love these characters.
There's aspects to it too, like you brought up earlier, is like you said, it's like, yeah, learning the objectives and what you got to do is kind of like a learning curve that you find in a lot of games. But what I also found out was it's like you wind up playing with a certain character for several hours and then finding out they have a secondary weapon.
Right.
And you're like, oh my gosh, I just had to hit right arrow to switch my weapons, which is an unusual button in most games that you play to swap your weapons. I love the button layout. Once you get the basis of the game down, you realize that almost every character has the same button setup. Yeah. Some characters can swap weapons, some characters have secondary shots, so there is a little bit of learning curve in there. But I also went through the complete tutorial before I started the game.
Right.
And I didn't rush through the tutorial just to get into the game. I kind of was like, alright, I didn't do any tutorial when I played Smite, and I just couldn't get in the game because I was getting killed all the time. So here's another MOBA-like game. I'll go through the whole tutorial. I thought it was going to be a really long tutorial, and it was short. And that really did teach me a lot of the basics to get me going in the game. But at the same time, I feel like the tutorial was so easy to kind of pass that if you're not paying attention to what the people are saying or anything, just trying to hammer through it, you're gonna miss a lot of these general mechanics of the game that will really help you out a lot. Like at any point in time, if you have a hero, if you hold down the left arrow, it brings up the list of what every skill you do does and how to use them, and if you can change your weapons or whatnot with that character. One of my friends I got him to start playing the beta. And my recommendation to him when he's like, oh, should I download this game? I was like, oh, dude, I would. To be honest, I'm not a big MOBA fan, and I'm getting really sucked into this game, so I would definitely recommend you trying it. But go through the tutorial and start playing. You have the option to do quick play where you're playing online, custom match, and play against bots.
We didn't even try custom match.
Yeah, custom match I think was more like a set of private matches, so you only have
like you versus me or something.
You versus me if we wanted to do a one-on-one, or we had a big group in our community that wanted to do a tournament. We could do stuff like. But we'll explore that more when the game actually comes out.
Yeah, when the game comes out, I'm totally getting it, and we have a Gameskooled community on PS4. I'm probably going to get it on the PC, and I want anybody with a gaming PC to jump in and add me on their friends list, and maybe we can do a private match, and we can explore those options too, and make a team. I wanna join a clan and do that with this
maybe
game.
Maybe even start our own clan. surviving over the world again.
Boom. Yes.
But like I was trying to say though too was I recommended to my friend was play against the bots before you go in PvP with real people. And it's not so much to like get good or that you don't know how to play a first person shooter, because we've all played a lot of first person shooters, can normally jump in, and it's a learning curve of like Call of Duty. I don't play the storyline of Call of Duty to get good at the multiplayer of Call of Duty.
Right.
I play the multiplayer of Call of Duty and grind it out until I become a champion.
Until you're good. Yeah.
But I told him to focus on finding bots, to find characters that you like to play with. Find characters that fit your play style and the way you like to move around maps. I mean, there's certain characters that are so slow. Every time you die, you feel like it's going to take you forever to get back into the action. And if you're not the kind of person that's patient enough to wait for that, man, there's other guys that can run up walls, jump over the walls, climb over. There's people that fly. There's people that roller skate and go super fast. I mean, so it all kind of like comes down to are you one of those people who likes to just stay away in the back lines and just have a couple of turrets set up and be really defensive? And that was another thing I liked about the game was
everybody doesn't have a gun.
Well, not only that, but the fact of you kind of want to pick different characters depending on what your objective is. If you're on the defensive side of defending the objective,
too, yeah.
having a group of more defensive players, and it even says in the part, low offensive players. Well, you don't need offensive players at that stage in the game, and you can change characters anytime you die. So, at certain aspects, it's better to pick the more defensive people. And then you realize you've gotten into this niche of playing this one character for a little while, but your team's on the attacking side, and that person's super slow. So you get all the way into combat, you die, and then it takes you forever to get there again, and you're just not helping your team. So it was really cool how it kind of promotes you to switch your style out, and switch your teams up depending on what your objective is, as well as your team setup. You'll notice I think that it'll be different when you're multiplaying with like a full group of 6 friends.
Right.
Which is kind of a hard group to get 6 people. I mean, you look at Destiny raids, it's kind of hard to get 6 people together sometimes.
That's true, but the raids are so long.
So long, it's a real deterrent.
Right.
But the nice thing is my point was, if you're getting into a match full of randoms, you'll see the team selected, and you might have to pick a different character.
Selected?
Like the land. But you'll see different people being selected or picked, and realize, alright, there's 3 people that picked your favorite character.
Right.
So you don't want a full team of knees.
Right. Well, although when I was playing on PC, you can talk to each other using the chat function, and you can just type to each other. And I ended up on a team with 5 turret guys. 5 guys that set up the turrets, and we rocked it. It was good.
There was matches this weekend where I was on a team of 5 tracers. The girl that can teleport and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And
but that was brutal.
I picked the freezing chick. So I had an entire team of people that are like all over the place. And the other team is like just trying to focus. Is that the same person I was shooting at? And I'm running in there and I'm just freezing everybody in place because they're so busy looking everywhere.
Dude, those guys are so hard to find.
They don't even notice me just standing still right there next to them, just freezing their ass up and punching them a couple times, going to the next person, freezing, punch. So there is advantages to setting up your team like that, but then a lot of that comes down to is if you have a full team of people you can communicate with, man, you can be a full team of bastions and wreck some shop if you guys can set yourselves up accordingly. But you can be a full team of bastions, and if it's a bunch of, I always call them blueberries because of Destiny, but a bunch of randoms playing together, you're not taking points, you're not covering choke points, you're not spreading yourself out correctly, so you wind up 4 bastions in a circle, or one good grenade or one good special, and half your team's toast, and 4 on 1, 2 on... And that's another thing I like in this game, is almost any time it's a 2-on-1 fight, you're gonna die.
Right.
If you're the one in the 2-on-1. And sometimes you can pull it off and get the 2 guys, but
Well, especially if you're like the freeze chick, you know, you put a wall between them and then you fight them one at a time.
Oh.
I mean, there's all kinds of strategies in
Yeah,
this game
that's
that
what-
are not explored yet.
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure the developers know all of these things, but
I'm
we
sure
got
those guys are
4
gonna come up with
days
some
of it.
pretty cool tricks.
Yeah.
Like when the game actually comes out, it's like seeing developers and other people who got like the pre-access to even what we got to that have figured out things. I mean, for example, when I was a freezing chick, if I seen somebody getting support from a healer, like you said, I would just throw up a wall, separate the healer from the other person, take out the healer. That was always my number one goal, is if there's a support person, I take them out first, because if I can wound them or take them out, the rest of the team's going to suffer for it.
Yeah. There's some characters that just don't regenerate health.
Mhm.
And I was finding that, like the ninja guy,
Yep.
he doesn't regenerate health, and he doesn't have very much.
Mm-mm.
So you've really gotta
And-
play your game right.
And his attacks aren't like super potent.
But they are,
But
though.
he's-
if you play him right,
He's so mobile. And then he's got the one skill where he deflects the bullets back wherever you're looking. And I had a whole match that there was several bastions getting in the chain.
Yeah,
chain
Bastion, it'll chew
Dude,
him up.
I would jump right in front of the guy, and he's in chain gun mode, and I hit that one button, you just aim down, and it's like every bullet, you're like, bam, Bastion's dead, and you're just like, oh, but you got like this much health, like total from the start.
Yeah.
So you run around, you get nicked by a couple of people, unless you have a support character on your team,
Right.
you know you're gonna die because there's just
Yeah,
nothing
so
you
without
can
a support, you know you probably don't want to pick the ninja.
Well, it's not even that too. It's like, well, I mean, it's definitely an aspect of it.
Right.
But it's one of those things is, you know, without a support person on your team, you're only going to get 1 or 2 kills in as the ninja before you're probably going to die and have to come back and run catch up to everybody
Right.
again. But
So without a portal person, it's all about picking your teammates when like that you know that can support you or that you can support them. It's about character combos.
It's a team. It's so much like Team Fortress, and it's so much like a team-based game. It's what I love about
How
it.
many characters did Team Fortress have?
I want to say
Like 10?
the original one. I want to say like 6.
6.
There was like an engineer, a medic, an assault,
Yeah.
a demolition guy, and I'm just gonna say like a heavy tank guy. And so
Okay.
like 5, maybe 6. If I
Yeah,
forgot
that
somebody.
sounds about right.
So, and in
21
Overwatch,
heroes.
Overwatch they have 12,
21.
21 really.
21.
Was there 21 in the beta?
Yeah.
Is there really that many? But see, even with 21 characters, getting that all balanced out and everything was really impressive. The graphics I really liked in that game. It was really like, I loved the art style.
Yeah, it was good.
The gameplay was really easy to pick up on. So far, the community's been pretty great. I haven't really met a lot of trolls or.
Well,
a
they
lot of
can't
people.
say much to
You
you, and you're on
can't.
PlayStation.
Well, not only that, but it's also one of those things is it's a beta, so you never really know what the community's going to be like till the community's actually there.
Right.
So you can't say a whole lot about that, but from the people I met, people were pretty friendly. People who you joined up on random teams with tend to still try to work together because
Yeah.
that's how you need to be successful. So that was a good success. So yeah, like I was saying, like, you know, graphics, gameplay, I mean, sound. It was weird to me.
I got it.
I don't know if you noticed this or not when you downloaded it. I downloaded the beta and actually downloaded like 2 things. It downloaded Overwatch the beta, and then it downloaded this media player
Sound
that-
something?
that had the same logo
Yeah, I
as
said that.
Overwatch on there. So I thought that maybe they were gonna have this huge playlist of music that came with their game that you could like select through and shift
Neat.
through as you're playing games. But I didn't see that when I was playing the game.
Right.
And then I thought, oh, okay, maybe I can stream from Spotify or something, and this game
We'll do it.
will accept it and just replace game music with that. And that didn't work either. So I don't know if that's like a beta thing that they're planning for the future for you to be able to put your own music in there. Because there's been a couple games that did that I thought was really cool. Forza did that, where you could just play it off of your own like music that you had on your PlayStation. So that was cool, but all in all, a very surprising game. It really caught me off guard, and I really liked it. I know I'm going to spend the $30. Another great
40.
thing. Another great thing about the game. $40.
Right.
Almost all AAA games you see now are at least $60, and then they try and charge you more later.
Yeah.
And this is one of those games I was kind of thinking was going to go one way or the other. One way being $60 and still charging me for more stuff later. Another thing was being like free to play and constantly charging me for stuff.
Right.
So I think they kind of found like a nice little middle ground of $40 to buy the game, and there's still going to be microtransactions, but the microtransactions are all going to be cosmetic.
Yeah, they're not going to give you an advantage in the game.
And don't quote me on that because I could be
Completely wrong.
It could be full and completely ruined by a million microtransactions, or it could be transaction free, to where it's just like, hey, you get loot boxes for doing good and leveling up, and that's your random chances to get like these cool
Right,
new
but
things.
I mean, they're gonna miss money out on selling coins, so that's not gonna happen. It's a business thing,
To be honest,
Blizzard is a money grab institution.
And yeah, I mean, you look at WoW and you look at all these games that Blizzard really came out with, and they really are kind of like into the microtransactions and
Right.
into like, which in a certain aspect is a good way to keep a longevity of the game going, because you get this
servers
people-
going.
Constant revenue means constant contact. Constant revenue means constant server maintenance. Stuff like that keeps games going and keeps games good, keeps games fun. But let's hope they don't break it, because there's so many games out there that just allow the fact that they want more money to break them.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's, you know, whether it's free to play and then it's not free to play, but it's pay to win kind of thing. You know what I mean? There's other games, you know what I mean? Like in my personal opinion, that it's like, all right, well, we'll give you a quarter of the game now, and 4 DLCs later, you get what the original product was supposed to be, and you can kind of
Destiny. Destiny.
So there's things like that. There's ways you can really break these games that are really cool, but for the most part, I'm really excited about Overwatch. I think it was a very well-rounded beta. Let's see if the game is as well-rounded as the beta was.
Let's just see.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, cool. Well, that's kind of like our overview of the beta of Overwatch.
Yeah.
And that pretty much sums it up.
You guys think that we got anything horribly wrong or missed out on something that was epic in the game that we forgot? Leave it in the comments below.
Yeah, do that.
If you like what you see, you guys know all the fancy red cool buttons push to help us keep going and growing.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is brought to you by Gameskooled, and that's both of us.
That's, yeah.
I'm
us two.
Captain Kron,
I'm the selected lamb.
and we'll catch you guys next time on Gameskooled. Get school.
Or wait. Is it, don't die and kill the other
Don't
guy.
die and kill the other guy. I think we got to flip flop.
Rule number 1.
Rule number 1, which is catching on like wildfire. If everybody learns this secret, which you have to become a subscriber. Not really. We tell everybody. I think we already told you before I said that. But rule number 1 is don't die.
And kill the other guy.
Oh yeah, that's a great part.
It's like a 2-part rule number 1.
If you can do both halves of that story, you're gonna rock out about any game you play.
Rule number 1!
Don't die.
Don't die! Kill.
Alright, we'll get you guys next time.
Yeah, have a good.
Have a good one.
That sounds like tremendous fun.
It's like that's the way the cookie crumbles.
No,
Is there anything that we missed?
I don't think so.
The problem with this is we don't have any kind of timer here. What are we at?
We're at 48 minutes. 38 minutes.
38 minutes. This is going to be a great overview video, guys. So in-depth. So much rambling.
Rambling and randomness. Hurrah! And we'll just roll the credits. See the credits going?
Cool people.
Cool. Hey, I think I know that guy.
We can do shout-outs. Let's see. The Crazy Cookie. Thank you so much for the shout-out on your video.
Yeah,
the other day,
cool.
That was super awesome.
Yeah, that was way cool, man.
We're all
Right on. fun.
trying to do this whole community thing here, dude. And I appreciate you for trying to be a part of it and getting us all together.
Yep.
Pocket Blitz. Always enjoy being part of your streams, dude. And thanks for tuning into all our streams.
Yeah, that's fun. You're fun, dude.
Yeah, he cracks me up, dude. Pocket Blitz is awesome. Matissa Song. That's SUONG. Sound. She's really cool. If you guys like some Bloodborne or some Dark Souls stuff, she's always a blast. See who else is a good buddy. Graveburn. He's got a nice little channel going. He does a lot of the same stuff. Dark Souls and stuff. Helps team up, do some co-op with us. He's got Banter and Butchery. It's always fun. And Dave420 for Life. He's a new YouTuber. Just started up doing the YouTube thing, but he's always helped me out. He actually helped me a lot get through Bloodborne, so I really appreciate all your help, man. Thanks a lot. Just off the top of my head, I'm trying to think of other people. Your King Skeletor, thank you so much for always retweeting our stuff out, dude.
That's
I really
cool. Yeah,
appreciate
the
that.
retweet.
Getting more people in.
You guys from Twitter, man. Right on. Thank you.
All awesome people. Let's see. Got the Crazy Cuckoo, Skeletor.
Got Zelda Chic.
Zelda Chic is
Thank
awesome. Amanda Pick, Fail Munster, Rambotron, super awesome guys. You guys haven't checked those out. El Gato Party. No, I think it's just Gato Party, but it's like El Gato, but just without the L part. So it's Gato Party.
Cat Party, huh?
He's a pretty cool guy. Yeah.
Let's see.
And he's got some cool videos. You guys definitely check him out. He's I think a little more on Twitch. He's just starting to do YouTube now, which are mostly highlight videos from his Twitch stuff. So definitely throw him a follow on Twitch if you guys enjoy the whole Twitch TV thing. And anybody else we forgot will be right here. Or here. Because we don't forget anybody on purpose.
No,
but
never on purpose.
Sometimes I forget a lot of shit. Anyway, full hour review on our first thoughts of Overwatch. Make sure you guys let us know what your thoughts were down there.
Down below!
Down below.
Down below!
Below the desk, many things happen. Actually, that's kind of weird and creepy, but we'll probably cut that out.
Alright, well.
Catch you guys next time
See
on
ya.
Gameskooled.
Gameskooled.
In a world where you made it to the end of the video, congratulations. You just watched two friends make complete fools of themselves. Like, subscribe, and follow. Gameskooled. It's time to get schooled.